Yeah. Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this doesn't work. And just because I have not been here all day does not mean the news stops for the Dallas Cowboys. It does not. In fact, today was one of those days that I really wish I had been here, because there's so much news going on. First of all, our quarterback, Dak Prescott. We are actually getting a look at him on the field today. Let me kill the music. You know I love my music from Ron Oliver. You know from Tower Light Records. I love the music. But we've got the Dallas Cowboys that we have to actually deal with right now. And we have all kinds of news. Sometimes life, things happen that you are not expecting. I was actually down at my down taking care of some business and stuff, and I drove my wife back. I'm so happy that my wife is actually back home. Her mother is doing great now, and now we can kind of get back to normal. And so, she didn't want to drive back, so Mike drove my truck. I drove her, and she said, "Make sure you bring a change of clothes." So that way, when you get in my car, you're not dirty with all your work and stuff. So I happened to just grab a shirt. And it's funny because it's a Nike shirt. And apparently, Dak Prescott is no longer wearing Adidas, okay? He's not wearing Adidas. He was actually wearing Nikes. And there's some word out that it may end up being that Dak Prescott will be joining Air Jordan. Can you say Air Dak? Air Dak. Oh, man. Because you know what? I've never bought a pair of Air Jordans in my life, but I tell you what, I might just buy some Air Daks if they go on the market. So just saying, Nike, not that you need my money, okay? Not that you need my money, because, if I had your money, I'd throw my money away. But that will be interesting to get another big sponsorship if he does. And, wow, that's kind of incredible. But without further ado, let's take a look at him actually moving around. High stepping. Oh, he's got a foot. Oh, the football comes out of his hands. Oh, my goodness. Look. Oh, oh, my God. Let's see. Okay, look. I don't see any brace on that foot. He's stepping back, stepping into the throw. Oh. Look. Boom, 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 boom. He's rolling out. Okay. Now, to think that we got plenty of time still before we actually get to real practice, training camp and all that. If he's moving around like this is a good sign. This is a great sign. Wow. Well, I tell you what, watching this tells me more than anything else, as I'm looking at him, and I think that's Garrett Gilbert was right beside him, is we're definitely going to need some camp body arms. We definitely need to get some backup. Oh, look at the zip. Oh, snap. I love that. So I missed the press conference. I'm not going to play the whole press conference, but I watched the beginning of it here, and we're talking about how they're going to be handling Dak Prescott going forward as far as on the field and things. Let's go to Mike McCarthy.
What's that?
Oh
no, yeah. There's definitely a bunch of first rounders right here now. There's no doubt. Yeah. I don't know who to pick. Yeah.
We wouldn't pass the medical.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
He's all smiles today.
Since your first 3 or 4 questions are going to be about that, I don't start at all. Just your impressions of how he's moving around, and what do you look for with a player coming off an injury like that at quarterback when he goes back-to-back days like that?
Good question.
Well, I think like any player that has a lower extremity injury, particularly to the joint area, you focus on that, and really we're really past that. I think it's real credit to Dak and Britt and all the work that's gone into it. So he's been moving with a lot of confidence for some time now. So really, we're just focusing on the footwork and getting back through each concept, particularly the QB movements and in the fake game. Just because those are the things he those are things all the quarterbacks we need a lot of work. Just as a whole offense, quarterback footwork driven focus. So this is the perfect schedule for him to be on. So he's really capable of doing everything that we've done the last 2 days. We're just being cautious, keeping him out of the team periods, and that's something that we'll evaluate at the end of the week. But I foresee us doing that here, all 3 weeks, and putting them into team periods once we get into training camp. And it's more precaution on the medical staff and myself, just being smart there. But he looks great. He's put a ton of work into this, so I would say he's ahead of schedule.
Ahead of schedule. I like hearing that.
With any quarterback, they're always looking at the footwork because that's the base for how everything else flows. But when you come off an injury like that, do you break it down even more to make sure that he's not compensating in other areas, or too much upper torso, or things you can look for specifically?
I mean, definitely, but I think that process is pretty much eliminated during the rehab program. I know those are things that, really, if you would have been out on the field the past couple months, you would have seen his work and his rehab was very detailed and very similar to the same footwork drills that we would do in quarterback school. So he's been really at this for quite some time now.
Okay.
What have you thought from what he's done here the first 2 days? Has he looked like the guy that picked up from week 4 of last season, or do you see a guy that's working back in?
Oh, I would say he's working back in, and I don't think that's any different than any OTA week 1 practice that I've been a part of. Really, I don't even look at last year as comparable. So I mean, just trying to really reflect back to 2018 and before. I thought as a whole our team did some really good things in the first OTA. We're doing more perimeter focus, which I've always done, really, frankly, since 2011. So it's more about where we are as a team. The way we do it is we put everything in the offense, defense, and special teams, and we call them 8 installations. And yesterday and today we were able to get through install 1 and 2, and there were mistakes out there, and we had some guys collide and get on the ground. I'm more focused on the safety part of it, so we can continue to work in this OTA climate and be smart and be safe.
According to the CBA, each team is allowed 10 practices during OTAs. Can you detail how your schedule is a little bit different this year to what you are allotted under that CBA?
Definitely. I always look at the amount of work that I feel that we need to get done at this time of year, because the commitment that our football team has made up until this point has been tremendous. So I feel like the virtual classroom work, we've really hit the target there, and you could see that especially in our rookie class, just their interaction. As they joined in with the veterans last week, I think they've transitioned fairly well. Now they're going to hit a wall here next week, which is normal, because once they start getting into the concepts and schemes that they haven't seen yet or been a part of, particularly the communication aspect is always the biggest challenge. So we'll hit that next week, but we're gonna get all 8 installs in. So we'll have 8 OTA practices, and then I'll release the veterans on June 11th or June 10th, whatever that Thursday is, and then we'll stay with the rookies 1 more week, the following week, with just the rookie class.
Like, at what point did you know you'd have this level of attendance during your OTA practices? How helpful is it? And also, can you tell us anything about the
Womp 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 womp.
Well, yes, I can't say enough about the participation that we've had here. I mean, really, really starting after not only a couple of weeks after the season concluded. So we've had a steady flow of players working out here. I mean, we're so fortunate to have this great facility and the resources in place, and our players live here in town. So it's a great asset to have, especially as a coach that's in the front end, in a new transition, putting it in a program, and because we've had a lot of change even from last year. So the commitment's been tremendous, and you could see it even phase 1 and phase 2. So it's really put us in a really good place to accomplish getting all 8 installations here over these 3 weeks. As far as Zeke, and Zeke was in the building today, so he didn't do the work on the field, but he's been here the whole time.
Amari had his foot surgery, and obviously we didn't see him out there. Is he someone, the next time we'll see him, will that be the start of training camp, or do you think he might be able to work in the next couple of weeks?
Well, Amari was there today. He was on the field. He wasn't working, so we're being smart with him too. So, Zach Martin, same deal. These guys have all been here pretty much every day, but some of the field work was limited, and we're just being smart with the guys, particularly the ones coming off of surgery and have some things that are hanging on from last year.
Did Elliott have some rehab today?
Excuse me?
Did Elliott have some rehab today? Is that why he wasn't on the field?
Yeah, he was in the building today. So, so he's been here every day.
Okay.
Mike, what's the key at this stage in integrating your rookies in with your vets for the smooth process?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please? You're kind of going in and out.
What's the key to a smooth integration of your rookies and vets during these weeks?
What's the? Did you get the middle part? Yeah.
What's the key at this stage of the offseason to integrating your rookies in with your vets smoothly?
Well, just really what I've already talked about. I mean, you have 8 installs to get in everything that they're going to need to know for training camp, and the rookies were exposed to installation 1 during their rookie orientation camp. So, and then they were able to get install 1 again in phase 2, and then install 5, and then really, a lot of review in between. So it's really, you like to get these installs to the players and get them, the application process started at least 2 times during the off season. So, and that'll be the goal with the rookies. So, we're able to meet with the guys in the afternoons, after the veterans are done. So we have the rookie meetings, and it's just really getting 2 laps through the installs. It will be the goal with the rookies.
At this stage of the summer, are you done looking for a backup quarterback, or are you going to?
Yeah, backup quarterback.
What you got?
Oh, I think it, just really in all positions too. I mean, Will is always looking at guys. I was in his office today, and we talked about a couple guys that are out there. So, yeah, but right now I'm very comfortable with all 4 of our guys. That they've put a tremendous amount of work in this off season. So, those guys know the offense inside and out. So that's what you're looking for. So love the classroom work. It's good to get on the field. But Ben DiNucci's taking a big step. So this is exactly what he needs.
Ben's taking a big step.
What Garrett's been able to do from joining you 1 week and starting a game 6 weeks to where he is now.
Yeah, Garrett's very comfortable now. I think like anything, when he did arrive, he wasn't really practicing much in Cleveland, so really his first time to get out there and throw was the week, his first week here, and then, as you've already stated, a week later he's playing against Pittsburgh. So he's very very, very bright, very intelligent. Football comes very easy to him. Him and Cooper Rush both are definitely very impressive. From the mental approach to it, their level of understanding. Yeah, I like the way that group works.
What are your impressions of Anthony Brown, and do you think that competition at that cornerback spot is something that we'll see play out over the entire spring and into the summer at camp?
Definitely. I mean, AB looks great. I mean, he just had 2 unfortunate injuries. I mean, the same injury twice, but I think just he just being healthy. But yeah, he looks great out there. So. Like I said, we're just getting started. It's good just to have everybody there, just the new concepts, new language, the details and the particularly adjustments of our new defense. So it's nice to see that start to come together.
All right, we're going to leave that right there. There's about 10 more minutes. No, actually about 4 more minutes left of it. Let me give you guys some notes on what has actually transpired today. In case you hadn't heard it, Jalen Smith is actually changing his number from 54 to number 9. He supposedly reached out to Tony Romo to get his blessing on it. The amazing thing is they're saying that he is going to be playing close to $500,000 to the NFL for his jerseys that weren't sold. In order to change your number from, if you're a big name player, the NFL said, hey, be more than happy for you to change your number, but you will pay for the jerseys that were already printed up. So close to $500,000. I'm going to be honest with you. That to me reminds me of when you start thinking about Vince Young, things that he wasted money on. Is it absolutely positively necessary for you to change your number today, right now? $500,000. $500,000 to change your number on the field. I'm sorry. I know that you've got a $9.5 million a year salary and stuff, but you are literally taking 5% of that just to change your number. And, when you start thinking about how short a football career is, and you think that, your earning potential is that window, be it 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, after that, that money's going to last you for the rest of your life. And when I think about $500,000 invested until retirement age, that's a very sizable amount. Hell, a lot of us may never make $500,000 in a year. But who am I to talk about another man's money? The Dallas Cowboys, we hadn't actually gotten to it, but the Cowboys will be going to Oxnard, apparently. He said, basically, we're just waiting for the final go-ahead. Already 30 of 32 teams have gotten the blessing from the NFL to have full capacity at stadiums. Full capacity at stadiums, so they're going to be back bigger than ever. In fact, I dare say the pent-up demand may actually get, people at FedEx Field up in the upper level. I'm just saying, it may be that crazy that for the first time in a while, they may actually have packed stands. Players not on the field. Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, who has been at the facilities on a daily basis, was not on the field today. Amari Cooper, Zach Martin. What Mike McCarthy's saying basically is we're going to take these guys slow. They've had some work done in the offseason and things. There's no point in rushing these veterans on the field. They basically know the installs and what we're trying to do, and we want to take our time getting there. The same thing with Dak Prescott. They're keeping him out of 11 on 11. At least the first couple of days. They'll reevaluate it towards the end of the week. And they plan on having everybody working until that Thursday, June 10th or 11th, whichever the day is, but keeping the rookies for an extra day or two after that, so that way they can get some extra work in. Right now, as far as backup quarterback, well, we're looking at basically they're kind of happy with the backup quarterbacks they have. They said that Garrett Gilbert, he had come from the Cleveland Browns, and a week later he's playing in a game. And they like his development. They said Ben DiNucci has taken some big steps from where he was last year, and of course he likes Cooper Rush. So don't look for the Cowboys necessarily to go out and sign another quarterback, mainly because he says, hey, these guys know what we're doing plays-wise and stuff, and we like that progress as opposed to having to take more time for another guy who's basically going to be a journeyman quarterback. Let's face it, if you're a backup quarterback, you're a backup for a reason. If you were good, you'd be starting someplace when you know there are teams that are desperate for quarterbacks. So from that standpoint, familiarity is actually a good thing. And that's about it that we have right now. So you're kind of up to date with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys on this first day of open practice. Oh, no, actually, you know what? We can go ahead and let's finish off the press conference here. We might as well get the rest of it in.
How far ahead of things is Diggs from where he was a year ago when everything was virtual?
How far is who?
Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon? Yeah, I mean, really today was the first chance to see him work live, but he looks good. And like I said, it's we're just getting started. We had our second practice today, so I think we're off to a really good start. I would say that offense is a little ahead of defense, I think, which is to be expected.
What everybody went through last year, how good was it to almost be kind of normal again with football?
I'm loving normal. There's no doubt about it. This
loving
is
normal.
It's great to be on the field with your players. It's a lot of fun to see the coaches, because you know how much time these guys put into this, just in the planning of practices, their drill work. We started back with the rookies, a couple new ideas of different drills, and so now having a chance to work those and make sure they're ready for training camp. So no, it's been great. I mean, the energy in the building since Monday kicked off, it's gone to a whole different level. So this is what we need. This is what I've always felt that you need, especially being a young team, especially being a team that's new in a lot of phases that we're still trying to integrate everybody to. So very thankful for what we got done so far, and looking forward to these next 6 practices.
With so many new faces on the defensive side of the ball and doing some different things systematically, what do you look for? I mean, do you believe it's going to take longer with your installs for everyone to get up to speed, or do the installs where guys are, and does that create some separation?
We're not there, and that's normal. I mean, this time of year is really about application of information, and particularly scheme, technique. We're trying to take a lap through our game management menu. So we're hitting that. We're hitting our team fundamentals, which you really can't really get going the way you want to get going until you get in pads and training camp. So we're making sure we're getting through all those curriculums just to make sure everybody has a understanding how we want it done here, and because everybody does it a little differently. So we just have a lot of work to do, and I think the fact that we get through these eight installs, that's the target I'm looking for, and then have the personal, the one-on-one time with the rookies there for that extra week. We'll be where we need to be. We'll be on target for training camp.
What were your impressions of Keanu O'Neal from afar? And obviously, Dan was around him for time in Atlanta. What have you been able to learn? And what traits does he have to make it so he can go from safety to linebacker?
Well, I mean, the same opinion I had from across the field I have as he's standing here on our side is, I mean, he's a stud. He's a stud of a player. Just his approach. I think, football comes extremely natural to him. You can see, I think he's making the full-time conversion into the linebacker room. He looks very comfortable. But no, he's an excellent addition to our football team.
You've been around Dak a lot through the offseason. You've mentioned that a few times, but how important is this week just as sort of that next step in the process to get him on the field for something that resembles practice?
I mean, it's big. There's no question about it. I mean, I'm sure he may, play it down some, but it was a threshold, yesterday to get out there and practice for the first time and get into a full speed 7-on-7. To do a 2-minute drill mechanics today was good for him and everybody. Doing no huddle yesterday, so just getting the full speed tempo and working not only what he's been working on physically, but the emotional and the mental components of it to be firing on all cylinders. So this is exactly what he needed, and as I stated earlier, he's right on time. This is the way this schedule sets up these next 3 weeks. This is perfect for Dak.
Okay, all right, there you go. We are all set with what the Dallas Cowboys are having in the first open OTA practice. Got to tell you, I'm excited as can be. I still got some more work and stuff. I got to help the wife get her stuff back in the house and everything else. But I've got some more on Keanu O'Neal coming up later. So as always, friends, you know what time it is.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show.
That's you guys.
And the only thing else I got to say is